The marvelous story of Bill Walton's life is so much more than 2 titles at UCLA, 3-time NCAA Player of the Year, 2 NBA championships, and enshrinement in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Who he was and the effect he had on those around him far eclipsed his accomplishments on the court. His coach John Wooden envisioned his future star's potential before he ever stepped on the court in Westwood.
We do have a fine big prospect by the name of Bill Walton from Helix High School in San Diego. And he's about 6'11", and we think he's a fine prospect. I like particularly his defensive potential. Incidentally, he's a 3.8 student.
Although they contrasted in many ways, Wooden and Walton would form a friendship that lasted over 3 decades. Said Walton, "I was John Wooden's easiest recruit. I became his worst nightmare. I drove the poor guy to an early grave when he was 99. A champion and NBA MVP with the Portland Trail Blazers in 1977, a series of injuries would cut his playing career short. At the age of 28, Walton overcame a serious stuttering problem and turned to broadcasting, a success he later called his greatest achievement. Fueled by an insatiable curiosity and a foundation of knowledge beyond sports, instilled by his mother Gloria, a librarian, and father Ted, a music teacher, Bill brought a most entertaining and unique perspective to broadcasting.
Please, don't you know anything about glockenspiels?
Bill Walton here, high in the Rockies, talking to the Buffaloes.
This is the Conference of Champions. What more could you ask for?
Get out there.
Ernie, time to throw it down. Let's go. Whack, whack.
Take a bite out of it while it's lit. While it's lit? Say, oh, I'm kidding.
The end of the year is coming, or is at the beginning. I can't figure it out.
As I was getting up this morning and the moon was going down to the west over Mount Charleston, covered with snow.
I hope that made sense. I lost complete track of where I was.
I love my fight. I love the Pac-12.
I'm not a hugger, Duck. I'm a tree hugger. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
His love of music, literature, natural wonders, and basketball shone through within every show. Bill was always interested in learning and sharing the stories of others, and his enthusiastic, selfless delivery was without limits. Bill is survived and celebrated by 14 grandchildren, 4 sons, and his wife, Lori. Both those he knew best and those he met once were all affected by his passing due to his remarkable ability to connect.
I love the Pac-12. Thank you. Thank you for my life.
I present to you the Bill Walton ECR3 controller. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You see the PCR3 control room named after Bill. I'll tell you what, the people that we're so lucky, those of us that worked with Bill. I don't know whether I'd say lucky for Roxy and Ted and Dave Pash that had to sit next to him and listen to the various things that he did. Spectacular man. You talk about, the MVPs, the championships in college, and you could make a case the best college basketball player of all time. He had arguably the best year any player ever had playing for the Portland Trail Blazers, but none of that matters. The broadcasting, the talent the unique talent that he brought to it, that didn't matter. It was the person. He cared about people. Anybody that he ever met, he'd remember their names. He'd ask how your kids were. He always wanted. Every time I'd say, "How's Kyle doing? How's Casey doing?" He did that with everybody. He was a caring gentleman. Wayne Tinkle made me say before the game, didn't want to talk about the players, didn't want to talk about the year. He said, "Hey, if you guys talking about Bill Walton, make sure you tell people how much he meant to me." That's true for everybody. There's nothing good about what happened to the Pac-12 conference last year. But in a strange way, it's very fitting that it ends when Bill Walton's life ended, because nobody was more Pac-12 than Bill Walton.
He wore that on his sleeve. He wore that in his heart, and it was so authentic.
He was absolutely the best. I remember that. Last time I saw him, he and Lori at the NBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis last year, and we happened to be broadcasting Pacers and Celtics a little bit later in May 27th, when Bill passed away. We're all better for the fact that Bill Walton was in our lives.
I'm really glad we were able to share that feature with everyone. Glad that PJ and I got to watch it with everyone as well. I've got the chills right now as we start the second half. We're with you, Bill. I know you're somewhere, and if you can put the Grateful Dead down for the second half, we'd appreciate it. And join us for the rest of this season opener.